I watched a black woman storm into court like, you told Harpo to beat me. All my life I had to fight. She walked in that court like like she was in the fields with and I said, wait a minute.
Hell no.
All of that. She sat down and like took a cigarette out. It seemed like,
Listen,
like
okay.
old Paul Malls or some Virginia Slims. I said, wait a minute. This ain't going to be what I thought. Splitting infinitives and the subject verb agreement notwithstanding.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, right, on display, Roderick.
Mm-hmm.
We tend to get judged based on our behavior, our vernacular, the way in which we pontificate or not. And You will F around and really get yourself hurt if you judge a person's intellect based on whether their subject and verb is agreeing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's clear to me that Fani Willis, who may or may not be able to pronounce some words, is nobody to play with. She was here for all of it. I enjoyed every minute. I can't. I'm not saying it was good, but I enjoyed it. I'm not saying it was right.
Right.
The way she got down, I'm saying I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm not a legal expert, and I wait for legal minds to tell me what I witnessed and what that really means. But I felt like yesterday was written by Shonda Rhimes. And
come on,
I was glued to my TV. I don't, it's honestly pure coincidence I caught that, because like I was sitting around, I wasn't doing nothing, and I just happened to put it on MSNBC, which I almost never do anymore. And it was like literally within like a minute of me putting it on that channel, she came through in that pink dress. And she said, listen, I want to testify. They said, how you even know it was time? She said, because I was pacing in my office waiting. I said, I'm here. Whatever we doing for the duration is canceled. We watching this tonight.
Oh, to that. I don't know if there is a legal analysis. I've seen some people say, this was some inappropriate behavior. Y'all sit your asses down and sit down, shut up somewhere. Because here's the truth. Here's the truth. For time immemorial, and I'm going to say time in memoriam because I can say what the hell I want. This ain't a language that even makes any sense anyway, English. So you're not going to correct my English. Kiss my ass. How about that? You understand that, right? We're not correcting English because English is a car crash. Right. So howsoever we speak is what we're going to say, okay? But this is theater.
Yes.
The courts are theater, and it's theater. It's theater, number one. Brian Kemp has the power to remove her, whether there's evidence or not. Right? He gave himself the power last year, the year before last. So this is theater. So she gonna have her. This is what I love. All right, being a skilled prosecutor, which she is. She ain't no joke, by the way. She wasn't answering whatever questions they were telling her. She was giving dissertations and storytelling, which had nothing to do with anything. And I was here for all of it because there's a portion of this that, she got in her jabs. They tried to sit her down. What you're not going to do is raise your voice. You're going to lower your voice. Sir, you're not going to yell at me. I was like, yes. But what we're also seeing is what it looks like when the rabbit has the gun.
I felt like her answers were creating a narrative to replace the one they were trying to create. Because look, I'm not a lawyer, but it was so obvious they didn't have nothing. Like they were just fishing, like just hoping that she would trip up her own self or someone would admit to something that they didn't say, we got the receipts. Okay. Oh, we know that you did that. They didn't have that. They were like, well, did you ever use Venmo? And she's like, what? No, I don't have Venmo. I keep cash in my house because my daddy raised a cash keeping in the house woman. And that's what black people do. And if you don't understand, that's fine because you're not black. You don't understand. But my daddy's probably disappointed. I don't have enough cash in my house. Like she was able to spend. She was giving me stories to take away that were not, did she sleep with this man? And is there any impropriety or any immorality in having him work this? I left that with I think I know Fani Willis now. I want to be friends with her.
Well, first, she's a great goose drinker. I don't drink wine. I don't really like wine. I drink Grey Goose. Yeah, I feel like this is what we need to do too. She did not allow for the narrative about her to stand. You know, there's a lot of commentary about, oh, you shouldn't say anything when people talk about you. You should take the high road. When they go low, you go. No, when they go low, punch them, you know, not punch them, don't touch them, don't do anything physically violent. But when they go low, bury their asses. It's like dig the grave, kick them in it. Like I still got the
vibe that this was beneath her. You see what I'm saying? So like, cause like what a lot of people do is they go, I'm not going to respond because it's beneath me. And they act like that's the only way to show somebody that something's beneath you. But coming in there and being like, y'all are a damn joke is also showing me that you think this is beneath you and a waste of the court's time. And I love when she said, I'm not on trial here. Y'all are.
I got all the clips. Be quiet, Roderick. I'm
sorry. I'm too excited.
I'm calling her Fani because I feel like that's my sister. I feel like this is my baby
she
sister.
Successfully navigated that thing in a way that when she left, I felt like we were friends.
Yeah,
because that was so many Black people I know that wanted to have a moment like that that's never gonna get it. And she or a moment that honestly a lot of us are afraid to have, because it's like, I'm gonna lose my job, or people gonna say I'm looking angry. She wasn't worried about none of that. She was like, I am angry because y'all did some angering stuff, and I'm fitting to let y'all have it. I enjoyed it. But like I said, not a legal mind, not a legal scholar. You don't gotta call and tell me, you know, I don't understand how bad it was. I understood how entertaining it was.
Oh my God. Smith, is the first clip the one where she comes in and she says, I was waiting in my, yes. Okay. So we're going to play, because I sat and watched and then time-stamped everything that I wanted to talk about. Because I know, you know, the clips that are going, I'm going to play some of those clips that you've seen. But some of the clips that resonated with me about Black people and how we spend money and how we take care of our money, and whether broke is broke, or if it's not just we broke for ourselves in that moment. There's so much nuance that so here's what I'm going to say. And maybe I'm going to have a deeper conversation tomorrow with Dr. Greg Carr if he's up to, I know he's up to it, but I don't know if this is on his agenda. But I feel like what we're watching right now is for 300 plus years, Black people had to not be themselves. So first, folk were snatched from their countries, put on plantations, stripped of their name, their culture, even their memories. And they were mostly young people, you know, people who had not even gone through a rites of passage. So they didn't even know the depth of, you know, I'm going to talk about this space documentary that I watched. We don't even know the depth of our history and contribution to the world, because you snatched children up and then brought them here and then stripped them of everything and then subjugated them in a way that terrorized them into being subservient. But that's not our nature.
Right.
So we had to figure out ways to be through music, through quilting, through jokes, you know, and even the laughing in the barrel, you know, because all, you know, the water cooler is an example of that. Can't be two or more of us, because when we're gathered, there's fear. And what it has done is we react to the trauma and the racism and the other stuff that we have to endure, but it doesn't break us, because we've always figured out how to make chitlins.
Right.
And now we're like, no, I ain't making chitlins no more. I can do that, but I'm also gonna put some prime rib on there. We're gonna have some filet mignon. We're gonna have some scrimps. We're gonna have the lobster tails, all of the meal, and we're gonna have the chitlins, because we're complicated, and you're getting to see all of this play out. I'm gonna split an infinitive, and also my subject and verb ain't agreeing, and I'm gonna put ain't in the sentence because I don't really care how you view me. I know I'm bad as hell. So, ooh, all right. Let me come. I too, Roger. I was running around my house like I was giving her a high five.
Yeah.
Man, when I see her, I was giving her a big hug. You better do that. Now, that said, she still may be sat down, and I don't know what's going to happen. But we got her back. Wrong or not, I don't even care if she's wrong at this point, because Trump is guilty. Period.
They ain't got nothing. That's all I'm saying. I watched that whole thing expecting them to have some. You supposed to have something. We got the check you wrote. Oh, here's the here's when he gave you the money, and we know that, you know, he wrote you a text or something. Man, I'm like, I know they don't got nothing, because when they had a chance to talk to her again today, what they say? We good. Well, now we don't got no more questions.
This wasn't trying to embarrass her and because in conventional wisdom would say someone that gets embarrassed like this, who's Black, because, you know, we see how Trump acts. Trump, you're supposed to be subservient and conciliatory and come there and with the dulcet tones and be, you know, bow your head and apologize basically for existing. And she was like, no, not only am I not going to do that, I'm going to come here and you got one more time to yell at me. You got one more time to raise your voice. Oh, Lord. All right, play clip one, Ms. Play
it. District Attorney Fani, Fani. Last name is Willis.
Ms. Willis, how did you know to come into the courtroom right then?
There were people I was pacing in my office.
Okay.
And I heard someone yell, his testimony is done. It only made sense to me that I would be your next witness. And I've been very anxious to have this conversation with you today. So I ran to the courtroom.
So as soon as you heard that Mr. Wade was done testifying, that's when you just assumed you would be the next witness?
It only makes sense.
Did you listen to any of the testimony?
I've been in my office pacing, ma'am.
Did you listen to any of the arguments?
I did hear the arguments this morning. It's ridiculous to me that you lied on Monday, and yet here we still are. And I did listen to that argument.
All right, so that was it, just the argument, no testimony.
Right, I listened to the argument this morning where Adam Abadi, I thought, did an excellent job pointing out how dishonest you were with the court on Monday. And I'm actually surprised that the hearing continued. But since it did, here I am.
Great. So let's just talk about what you did in preparation for today. Did you meet with Mr. Wade at all? Once the motion was filed, did you meet with Mr. Wade and talk to him about the motion that I filed to disqualify you?
On January, his first January motion?
Yes.
I don't know if you could say talked about. I probably had some choice words about some of the things that you said that were dishonest within this motion. So I don't know that it was a conversation. As you know, Mr. Wade is a Southern gentleman. Me, not so much.
If anyone was embarrassed by her performance, because it was a performance, she was performing.
Right.
866-801-8255. I would love to hear from you. If you were embarrassed, if you felt uncomfortable, if you felt like I saw Charles Coleman's like she's doing too much, and I was like, sir, interesting. Really? Charles Coleman, really?
Yeah, I think a lot of people the thing is when you Black, you carry that weight of the world, and then you got all these people that look at you and go, you're always representing all of us all the time, and whatever your choice is a choice for all of us, and we never get to be individual. Even when this accusation is an individual accusation, she was very offended at this entire ordeal, just the idea that any impropriety took place. I'm sure you have clips later, but even some of it even seemed like offended that y'all would attach me to this dude in this way. Like this, I don't get down like the way you get down. So y'all, if y'all knew that, y'all would understand how much of a waste of time this is, because I'm not doing him a favor in that situation.
Oh my God,
she was so good.
I was so mad that I was on the radio yesterday. I was like, I don't miss this. So I'm having a conversation about, what I was reading.
Yeah.
But this is why it's important that you have to, those of you who are capable of speaking for yourself, because some people will get up there and, not represent themselves in a way that would set the record straight. So it might be a bad thing. But I was like, man, had I watched this before I got on these airways, because it was going on at the same time, I was like, what they posting that I can't watch while I'm live on the radio? It would have been a different conversation yesterday.
Yeah.
I still believe, though, and it's something I said yesterday, that we can't do what they do. So what came out today was that, number one, they were not in a relationship when she hired him.
Right.
A romantic relationship. She had known him.
Right.
When they did form a relationship, because they were trying to entangle her into saying that, she was with somebody that would work for her. No, he didn't work for me. He worked for the county or whatever. Yeah, right. We weren't, and he wasn't my subordinate. So I'm not in violation of anything. I'm not sleeping with a subordinate, and I'm not sleeping with somebody that works for me. So, which is redundant. So that was cleared up for me. And then I was like, okay, so what's the inappropriate? So, I mean, yeah, again, we know, Roderick, raised up in this country, that if it looks a certain kind of way, we have to avoid all. Right. And we should, she probably should not. She could have avoided all of this.
Absolutely.
You know.
Like I don't think it's, like I said, not a legal expert, but I'm an expert of it could be a bad look. And so I remember when this first was leveled at her a month or so ago, and they were like, yeah, this dude she's working with, and they had a relationship and they were accusing her. And I was like, okay, I mean, is it illegal or like what are we talking about? Like they gonna dismiss the case? And it's like, well, if they can prove that she gave him some money and that she gave him the job so that he could give her money on vacations. I'm like, okay, so we not really talking about the law. Y'all just saying it's a bad look for the appearances. Okay, I'll give you that. That don't got nothing to do with them stealing the election. I'm sorry, but I came here for one reason. I didn't come here if Fani Willis is sleeping with a dude or not. That's not really germane to what's happening. What is this gonna say about the evidence on y'all stealing that damn election? Because some of y'all done already copped. Y'all done already pleaded out.
Right.
So I know y'all guilty. What's the hold up right now?
866-801-8255. Roger Morrow is here. We're talking about Fani Taifa Willis, first of her name, not the one to get with. And if you don't come for me, she is. If you don't call for me unless I come. What is it? If don't come for me unless I call for you.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
She is. If don't come for me unless I call for you were a person.
Yes.
It's her. That's who
I love
that
how
was.
she still was prosecuting them. She was on the stand prosecuting them. That's why, I can't be mad at nothing that happened because it was just she owned that whole narrative right there. Because I'm sorry, but that, like you said earlier, it is theater. And so who wins in theater? Who got the best story? She gave us another story of like a defiant Black woman standing up for herself and being like, absolutely not. Y'all don't have nothing and y'all wasting everybody's damn time. Let's get back to the matter at hand and start prosecuting y'all for trying to steal an election.
Period. Yeah, no, it was everything. And she wore an old girl out so bad that she had to bring in old boy, the old yeller.
They brought in two more people. And they was asking the same questions, Karen. They didn't even have no new questions.
The judge was she answered that already. Can we move on? She was like, oh no, I got a story for that. No, come on back. Oh, since you want to bring it up again. I said, man. So let me be honest. Watching this, I feel like that's how I show up to most meetings and things. You know, it's like, I feel like that's why people don't really want to, be engaged with me at certain levels because they know y'all ain't gonna be able to just do all of that.
Right.
And it's so funny. I remember I had a meeting when I was at Simon & Schuster, right? And I had a whole imprint there with my name on it and everything. And they were going out selling my books and not including me in this. So I needed to look at the sales team and see. So I come in the meeting and I wasn't even as, it's like you told Harper to beat me. But I was like, how are you selling a book? At that time I had signed Shaquille O'Neal, damn, now I'm blanking on the name. Shawnee O'Neal, because I'm getting Fani and Shawnee O'Neal to a book deal about parenting. Okay. And they're pitching it as a Black book or whatever. And I'm like, so are you pitching it as a Black book because she's Black? Or because have you read the content? Because the content don't have nothing to do. It's parenting. Right. You didn't do that with the Tiger Mom book with the Asian lady. So why are you doing that? And then I look in the room and ain't nobody Black here. So how are you selling my books? And everybody sat there and had their little feelings hurt. And I didn't hear it till afterwards because it was like a couple of assistant, Black gophers in the room came back. Oh, they were so upset. They couldn't believe how you talked to them. I'm like, the imprint says Karen Hunter Publishing. Right. I happen to be Karen Hunter. These are my books, and you're responsible for selling them. In this equation, I'm in charge. And I should challenge you to do better, but you're in your feelings, and then you are too cowardice to even say anything. Yep. While I'm there so we can engage in conversation. Oh, well, you were so aggressive or you're so intimidating. And it was like, do we want to win? Don't you want to sell
books?
And
it's interesting too, because it's not unprofessional and it's not abusive, right? Like Fani didn't call them out their name. Like she
didn't call them liars.
Yeah, but fact. If you lying on me, guess what that make you? But it was like she didn't call them out their name. She wasn't cussing. She wasn't yelling. She was just very resolute and flat-footed and like going, hey, y'all are making stuff up. You don't have a case and you're wasting everyone's time. And ask your questions because I've been waiting for y'all to ask the questions to me because no one else can answer these questions but me. And so, yeah, I appreciated it. But, you know, once again, I watched Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder. Okay, that's how I learned my courtroom dialogue. I don't know what's supposed to happen in there.
Oh man, I know Shonda was like, "Damn it!" Well,
right? I said, Shonda couldn't come up with this.
Yo, it was so good. It was so good. 866-801-8255 and then.